Hi. Welcome to Live with Miss Steph. Today is April 17th, 2025. We're going to check out some Hey Clay. Yes, we'll be opening that together. But before we get into our Hey Clay, let's get into our Science Club news. In particular, we have an event, y'all. There's an event. We will be at Hoppin around Harlem at St. Nicholas Park at the entrance of St. Nicholas Park, the 135th Street entrance. That's very close. If you see the BC train entrance and you see the M3 bus and you see that nice big hill, that's very steep hill. And you're in the right place. 135th Street and St. Nicholas Avenue from 12 to 4 p.m. It is a family fun day put on by Rise Collective Harlem, by the Harlem Rise Collective. We're super excited to be invited by them to do our famous science fun table. We will have slime to give out to folks, passersby. You'll get to feel the amazing slime that I made on Monday. If you're wondering how to make no fail slime, go back, check that out. I made it on Monday, and I have my primary tips. My two main tips for making slime is use borax solution as your activator and use glue all. I say glue all, Elmer's glue all for your glue, and you'll be on your way to making no fail slime. So that being said, that's our main news for today. This is a holiday weekend for some of us. I'm one of those people. And so I'm not going to keep y'all on long because there are different events that are going on from now. Actually, some congregations started on Tuesday, but our group is going to start this evening and run through Sunday. So I want to respect everybody's calendar and schedule. Alrighty then. So I'm going to put in Hey Clay into the chat. That's what we're making. And then go back. Live with Ms. Steph. Episode from Monday, April 14th for my no fail slime tutorial. I actually walk y'all through the entire process. Let's make sure this is all typed properly. There we go. Trying to make sure that everything is there for everybody. Okay. So yeah, April 19th. Hi. Welcome to Live with Miss Steph. Thank you for watching. I see somebody on. So yeah, let's hop right into this Hey Clay thing, unboxing. This is my first time using Hey Clay. First time ever. And so y'all are going to get my very first impressions. You know, my objective around, for those of you who've been following me for a while, you know, my point around opening these materials is so that you can get an idea of how they function, also how you can use them in the classroom, in your center, and how I plan on using them with my students in the various modalities that I have. For those of you who are just now meeting me, hi, I'm Ms. Steph, Stephanie E. Farmer, founder and executive director of Triple F Empowerment, Inc. We are a nonprofit based right here in Harlem, and we mitigate the negative impact of the lack of science education in various communities. That is across the board in these United States. Pretty much everyone is, the majority of children are experiencing some lack in their hands-on science education. I had a great question on a video maybe not a couple of weeks back, but like about a week and a half ago, because I've been doing VEDA. So it feels like I'm making way more videos than I normally do. But yeah, that was only a week and a half ago or so. And the person asked, what do you mean by hands-on? I mean hands-on. Do you mean like labs? I presume the person may have been working with, say, like older students, because we don't necessarily call them quote unquote labs. Yes. So I responded to the person, yes, based on what I presumed their perspective was. I wanted to assume, just think about who I was speaking with. But yeah, hands-on activities. And very frequently, there's a lot of let's try to read it, which actually turns science into more of a reading activity than what it is. You do need reading skills, math skills to function as a scientist. That being said, there's still another layer of proper materials usage, materials exposure, and a creativity that comes with actually being able to interact with the materials. And so that hands-on component becomes extremely important, significantly more important than it's treated. Having your students just read about something tends to not be the full scientist experience. Okay. I'm always encouraged, especially when you're working with young children. Yes, as we get older, those of us who are in, and I'm not one of them, but like folks who are in the theoretical sciences and everything is kind of on paper, they still ideally had a hands-on experience with clay, with blocks, with all kinds of other things, so as to support their ability to imagine at the level of a PhD theoretical physicist and mathematician and all that type of stuff. Okay. So my big thing is let's expose the children now to as much positive experiences with the sciences and with materials as possible. And so Ms. Steph Science Club mitigates the negative impact. We are not only presuming, we are seeing negative impact when children don't have that hands-on exposure. They tend to be very nervous and have a negative thought process when it comes to science and math in general. And these exposures in these play-like settings that we provide then set them up to be more vocal, to be more outgoing, to be more creative, to display the critical thinking skills that they already have, but might not be comfortable displaying. Being in Science Club has those positive impacts. That's your value proposition for having your young person come to Science Club. Okay, so we are going to hop in. First things first, this came in what was a sealed container. This was sealed, meaning there was one of those thin plastic films on it. I cut it off yesterday because I wanted to look inside of the box very quickly. I didn't open the little container. So the first thing that I want to say is that I do like the variety of colors. This particular thing is more of a kit, and I'll talk how that's beneficial for me in my setting and how that might be a challenge, or how that might be something that you might like when you're ordering this for your young person or purchasing it. I got this, like I said yesterday, on yesterday's live video at Blink, and this was the only set they had. This particular, let me turn this off. I have my phone out because I want to do something with this. Okay. This product comes in different sets. All right. So first thing that you want to see here, this is the ocean set, right? So these are aquatic living things that you can create with this. Now, can you do a free play with it? I'm quite sure you could, because you know me, I'm all about that free play. Okay. Can you do a free play with it? Probably. Is it intended for that? I get the impression not as much, just simply because the amount of product that you're getting, but they give you enough to create all of these, and they give you instructions. They, as in the company, heard the brand. I'm trying to remember the brand. Okay. The brand, okay, it's these folks. Fat Brain Toy Co. Okay. Another thing, yes, I'm famous for using things for age groups, just all kinds of age groups. That being said, when dealing with a new product, I still want to get an idea, okay, of what they're saying their limits are. So they're saying not to use this with the little kids, okay? Let's find out more about why they're saying that. On here, unlike Play-Doh, Play-Doh is age 3. For those of y'all who don't know, Play-Doh is recommended for ages 3 plus. This product is saying it's recommended for ages 6 and up. Okay. I suspect part of that might be because of the app situation. To be able to use the app, even with adult support, can be challenging, very challenging for a child under the age of 6. Okay. I am going to, the reason I have my phone, right? And yes, I do have this right here. It's kind of a business card. It's a way that I interact with folks. It made my life easier last week when I was at an event. All right, so hey Clay, see how the QR code functions. The QR code does function quite well. And so this is what I'm getting. I can choose between either the Google Play Store or the Apple Store. I have an Android. You can feel how you feel about it, but I have an Android. Okay. I like my Android for various reasons. I'm also team HP when it comes to the laptop. Neither of them are sponsoring Miss Steph Science Club. Feel free to come talk to us if you want to. But yeah, okay. So this is loading. While that's coming up, let's go ahead and feel the product. As we see, there are various sizes of the product. I took a quick look at a few reviews of this so I would be ready to do my own situation. Okay. I smell things because I am smell sensitive, and I know some of my students are too. Okay. But right now, just my stage of life, smells bother me, Joe. So they have the cute little stamp. Okay. This is what the top looks like. Hope you can see that. Hey, Clay. It's a nice airtight container. My understanding, as I said, I looked at some of the videos. Comes with these tools, and those videos made it very clear that this product does dry quickly. And so, as you see, I'm not putting my hand into it because I don't want to contaminate the product. I'm going to grab this. Oh, okay. Easy to grab. Just want you to kind of get an idea of how easy it is to close up. Okay. And this stuff, I don't know if you can hear. It's almost like, so I have an air dry clay product that I put into my slime. I buy it in bulk. I get, like, I think I told y'all in a video, I get 50 of the half-ounce pouches for $23. It depends on kind of just fluctuations, just life. Okay. For $23, I get 50. I can get no less than 100 cups of slime out of those because I divide them up in like by half or into thirds. So just to give you an idea, that product has way more stretch. This, you see, there's not a lot of stretch to this, but of course, that's not the intention. That's not what's described. It is Has a nice amount of give to it. As you see, when I flatten it, it stays in that shape. It's not going to puff back up. It's definitely Newtonian. Like it's not, it doesn't have any type of slime features to it, in my opinion. It's not as puffy as my other air dry clay product. And it's nice to keep play with in my hands though. You see how much I keep kind of playing with it. That is nice. And it doesn't turn color too much. There are some products that no matter what you have on your hands, as soon as it interacts with the oil on your hands, which by the way, we all have natural oils that are produced on our hands and all that type of stuff, that it starts to turn. You see, this is still pretty white. It hasn't turned color. It's staying true to color. As I play with it, though those videos were saying that it dries quickly, me playing with it, I noticed that it's not drying in my hand. So I like that. I don't feel any residue. I imagine if I were to grab one of the colors, let's grab one of the colors. You know how I like to test. If you watched yesterday's video, you know why I'm choosing blue. Blue is serious. Oh. Oh, interesting. That texture seems different to me. Okay. You see what's going on there? Yeah, that's a different texture. This feels closer to Play-Doh. And it can be used like Play-Doh, meaning it can be played with, put back in the air dry container, and then played with again later. Okay. Oh, you see, I put that down. This is already starting to. So I am squeezing this. It's just that quickly it turned into this kind of marshmallow shape. Like I would have to. Let's see if I can squeeze it. Okay, so if I can squeeze it firmly when it still feels moist, and I'm able to reshape it. It doesn't have a skin on it, but it did seem like it was. You saw me kind of try to squeeze it a little bit. It did seem like it was going to set already. So that's exciting. It doesn't take long for it to set. Again, I'm using the blue because I want to see if it's going to get on my hands. No. Okay. All right. Here's the two tools. This is funky. I like that. That's entertaining for me. Okay. So it has a bit of a divot in there. Y'all see? Okay. Another reason why it's children no less than like 6 and up, right? It's not just the product. It's what comes with it. It's how you're supposed to use it. Okay. It's the amount. A younger child would need more product to kind of deal with. I would imagine a younger child is going to want to mix the colors together. This product is not intended really for the colors to be mixed together. I noticed that some of my students really like that. That's one of the first things. Miss Stephanie, can we mix the Play-Doh colors together? They really like that. Okay. And so if you purchase this product for your child, for your students, keep these things in mind as far as the boundaries around how they're supposed to use the products. Because remember, we're wanting them to be creative. At the same time, they still need to learn proper usage of certain items. All right. So I'm going in to the app. Fine. All right. So it wants me to choose which one I have, I imagine. Go to shop, rainbow unicorns, Australian animals, exotic pets, dog story, fluffy pets, forest animals, farm birds, child, ocean. All right. I'm going to click on ocean, and it has this cute little music going. I hope you can hear it. Okay. Octopus, stingray. Okay. Shark. Why not? Okay. All right. So it wants me to enter various things. Okay. Do I want to get a shark? Are you a grown up? Please enter your year of birth. Okay. Oh, interesting. Oh, so if I want, so it will let me, the app is free, but I could purchase a shark. Okay. I can, like the actual shark made out of the clay. Okay. See the leaflet in your clay box. Buy clay set. Okay. Am I grown up? Okay, so it's asking me multiple times if I'm a grown up. Please log in to keep free access to your unlocked characters forever and on multiple devices. Continue without sync. Yeah, I don't feel like doing that. No. Scan, enter manually. Scan code from the flat leaflet. Got it. Okay, it's asking for permission to use. So all this stuff is going on. I'm not gonna walk y'all through that because I don't feel like doing all that right now. But long story short, well, if I'm doing it, let's go ahead and do it. Okay, let's create your new claymates. Okay, that's sure. Yeah, so I needed to do, so just be advised. You're using the app. It is free to use the app, but you see how I needed to download the app and then I still needed to scan again, and I need to put in that I'm an adult. Okay, it wanted my birth year. Okay. Prep 2 colors. See? All right. Start. All right. So it's walking me through this process. It wants me to make a ball. Okay. I don't know that y'all can see. Okay. So there's different steps that it's showing me how to do. I think so. My comment on that, let's go into my impressions of, trying to use this at Miss Steph Science Club. To use this at Miss Steph Science Club with the app, frankly, I think would be challenging. Why? Because I've got all these different, kids, right? So it would be like a thing that maybe one or two children could use because you've got someone's phone is now occupied using the app, or if we have a tablet, maybe you have a tablet in your classroom. It definitely, if you're going to want to follow the instructions like this, absolutely ages 6 and up. I would venture to say that's closer to an 8, age 8, from my experience of just the types of students that I have. The color brightness and texture and all that, I'm a yes. I'm here for it. It's entertaining. I like the colors are true to color. Doesn't look like they get dull as they dry. They probably actually get a little bit darker. And you see me pulling out some of it. Okay. As far as other things about working with children on mass, there's there's like a different face on each thing. There's an amount of supervision that is needed that might not be best for, say, like a free play kind of situation at a camp. Also, you see the amount of product that you're getting. I got this for, I want to say it was $16.99 or somewhere around there, plus, my little Blick discount that I get because I'm on their Blick thing. But is it cute? Is it fun? Sure. Is this to me something more that I would like to see with, like, it's another thing to where I'm looking at maybe not using it in a very, very small group, like 1 or 2 kids, to try to get enough for all of the children to use it at the same time would be challenging. And it does need to be used with your students that are pretty focused, that will sit there and make the thing. Some students can do that. Some students just, clay is their thing, and they will sit there, focus, and move through it. Other students, depending on what's happening in the space, in the classroom, it may be too much for them to attempt to focus on this thing, especially if you're trying to have them do it like independently. Because that's another thing, is I like to have activities where the kids can be relatively independent in my setting. Again, I've used this term before, the supported independence. Like, I can walk by the table and go, "Hi, how are you all doing? What are you making?" That type of thing. And a large group of kids might not be able to do this, but like I said, 1 or 2 kids sitting together, hanging out, enjoying each other's company. Yes, this is not something that I would say because I used to run a camp with like 50 kids, and I have interacted and written lesson plans for camps that are more like 200 kids. I would not recommend, not a no, I would not recommend this product for that purpose for your big camps. For camps where it's like you're going to do, say, a giveaway, maybe, right? A kid could get like a whole set. Or you could divide the set up and give them like a certain amount of things. It's just that just keep in mind that they can make but so much with like 1 or 2 things, right? Because this app is going to walk them through and tell them to specifically place. I've seen, again, remember I looked at reviews for this as well, right? And so you need specific amounts of each color and specific shapes. It does support you in making the shapes and all that type of stuff. Like, it's a little hard to see on camera here, but it did say like roll it into a ball, and it showed the hands, which I thought was cute. So that stuff is cute. If you're looking at this and your team, auntie, uncle, grandparent, godparent, and you're like, okay, let me see if I can get something educational for a special child in my life, I would say an absolute yes on that. This would be something nice for whatever holidays your family celebrates, for a holiday gift or for like a birthday. This would be good, especially for a child, like I said, 8 and up. I wouldn't go as young as 6 because they cannot quite do that independently at 6. From my experience, 6-year-olds I've observed. Okay, so that's my review of Hey Clay. Will I be using it in my program? Of course, you guys know me. Will I use it as intended? Probably not, simply because of what would be needed. We don't necessarily have that functionality to do that, but would we be able to have the kids play with it and form little shapes with it? Absolutely. I always like them to have something to take home, and that could be fun. Yeah, this is also something that maybe they could take one, choose which color they want and take in a kit. You know how we do the kits sometimes. This would be like a bonus item in a kit. Yeah. So it has been super fun hanging out with you all today, reviewing Hey Clay. As intended, yes. Okay. In mass settings of very large groups of camps that are over 50, probably not. As a gift or raffle for a couple of kids to get, you want to give them the full set. Okay. Yes. As a gift from the adult in a child's life who likes to give the educational gifts, this would be a nice one because they're getting creativity as well as some engineering because they're going to have to follow the instructions and it will be interactive and it can dry or they can reuse it. This would be a nice gift if you're saying, okay, I want to do something other than Play-Doh. This is one of those things that would be an upgrade because it has the instructions with it, especially with the kids that need the instructions and they like that. This would be good. All right. So it's been fun. I hope you have. This has been Miss Steph, and I hope you have an absolutely wonderful day.